Hello, my panda pals, and welcome back to the channel. Now that we've all seen the runny dump that was the season finale of The Last Resort, we really have to talk about what happened in between the sheets. So sit your little booties down and let your girlie tell you all about it. We go back to that hella awkward phone call between Gino, Jasmine, and Matt.
I just want you to know that I love you and you are my person, nobody else's.
Okay.
Jasmine tells us that she felt numb during this conversation because how did her marriage get to a point where this had to happen?
I will have to have sex with another man that is not my husband. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this.
Girlie, shut up. You don't know if you're gonna be able to do this? You're the one who brought this up. Also, this is not the face of someone who is feeling numb or feeling like she's gonna back out. Then we get to the part where Matt tells Gino Jasmine is a delicate flower and she needs to be handled gently.
When I don't see that she is taken care of the way she should be, it's kind of heartbreaking because she has a good heart.
And Josh is watching this and he's like, how dare this man tell you to stop treating your wife like crap?
To have him talk to you that way about your wife, wild.
Now, I am torn about this. I don't think it's wrong for Matt to speak up for a friend who he believes is stuck in a toxic relationship, because all he's really saying is, bro, stop treating your wife like garbage. But he is also the man who is slated to bang said wife. So, is this Matt being concerned or a little conceited? I don't know. What do you think?
If that guy would have spoken to me about my wife the way that he spoke to you, I would have slapped the him.
Rob thinks Gino's brain is broken because he won't let Jasmine use sex toys to get off, but he's agreeing to let her bang a whole ass man.
Having sex with an actual person is way worse.
He might have the source.
Bruh, you should definitely let her have a toy.
Julia is like, why doesn't he just pop a boner pill and bang her once in a blue moon? And Sophie is like, I don't know, I mean, maybe the blue pills don't work for him anymore.
That's so sad. If the blue pills stop working and that's the real reason, then that's really sad because he can't.
I mean, if he is tugging his tiger as often as Jasmine says he is, I think his Caucasaurus is fine. Heidi is watching this debacle and she's like, these two are morons.
They said their rule was you can't have feelings. Jasmine is emotionally connected. Rule number 1 was broken before rule number 1 was made.
Fast forward to everybody at the bar. Gino is telling him he approved of Matt and made some rules, and everyone is like, LOL, have fun losing your wife.
I hate that face he makes. He always does that. How do you even do that?
Really? You don't know how to pucker your lips? What are you, going around kissing people? Like, Jasmine is so pissed about how everything went down at the bar. She's like, I went there to celebrate. I was so freaking happy that everything was going according to my plan. But these bitches just had to come out and rain all over my parade by calling me out.
All of them. Rob, Sophie, Daisy, snakes, traitors.
Reba is watching Jasmine get absolutely crucified, and she is so team Jasmine right now that it actually hurts me.
Jasmine, run, baby girl. This is why polyamorous people should have their own friends who can give them real healthy advice.
She goes on and on about how ridiculous it is that everyone is saying Jasmine cannot have a pre-existing friendship with the person that she bangs.
In order to have sex, women require trust. And it seems like Jasmine has been building trust with Matt, which is a good thing.
I am not polyamorous. I do not care if other people are polyamorous. But I am a little annoyed that Reba isn't taking into consideration the nuances of Jasmine and Gino's relationship. A, they should not be in a monogamous relationship with each other, let alone a polyamorous one. B, Jasmine should trust her husband equally, if not more, than her side piece, but she does not trust Gino at all. And I get why she doesn't trust him, which brings us right back to point A. Then we see Gino calling Florian a bitch and then immediately regretting it.
Man, you got the story wrong, bitch.
Who are you telling, bitch?
No,
tell me.
Florian tells us that after they got back to the resort, Gino reached out to him by going to his room to make amends.
What'd he say? You're my brother. I love you. Let's smoke cigarettes together.
And Florian did accept his apology because he just feels really bad for the guy. He's a 55-year-old nobody married to a 38-year-old wannabe.
I think Gino regret everything what's in that last resort.
I think Gino regrets that whole relationship.
We pivot on over to Princess Sophie and get to watch some never-before-seen footage of her therapy appointment with Heidi. Sophie tells her, since their last session where Heidi told them to stop bringing up the past, the two of them have actually been getting along pretty well.
When we don't bring up the past, we really don't argue, and we do get along.
Now, Sophie expected things to feel all rainbows and butterflies once the two stopped fighting, but once all the noise died down, she realized that she still wasn't happy.
It just feels kind of like we aren't really getting anywhere though. Like I don't really feel any different towards Rob.
She says that the reason why they weren't fighting was because she had stopped voicing her needs, so despite there being no more arguing, she was still left unfulfilled and unsatisfied. So Heidi tasks her with writing a letter to her younger self.
What advice would she give herself with where she is today? And I think that starts to put things into perspective, and I knew that this would give her some clarity.
I wish that I had been given this advice when I was caught in toxic relationships in my youth. I really think it would have helped me choose myself a lot sooner than I did. Then we see Sophie read that letter at the recommitment ceremony, and despite struggling to watch it back, she tells us that she is super proud of being able to let that relationship go because it was the right decision.
I need to treat myself better. I need to have more love for myself. I deserve happiness.
Rob is watching this whole thing back, and he tells us that he feels like Sophie just used him and abused him.
My only purpose in Sophie's life was to help her realize that she had childhood trauma. I felt like she used me.
Okay, so I have thoughts. To say that he feels used because Sophie realized she had childhood trauma by being with him and then she left to go resolve them, to me, it kind of feels like a huge self-own. Yes, you can realize that you have trauma from being in both a toxic or a healthy relationship, but I feel like it's the toxic ones that re-trigger the trauma and eventually make you think, hey, I deserve better, and then you leave to go find better. Usually, the healthy ones continue because you finally feel safe enough to articulate your needs and wants, and you are loved in the way that you want to be because your partner actually listens to you.
I'm just here for you to get all that frustration and all that pain and trauma out. In her leaving me, she's gonna go fix that, and then you can be that better version of yourself for somebody else.
See, you're saying that she had to leave you in order to heal, and I just feel like that's very telling. Jasmine is super happy that Rob got dumped.
I was so happy they were getting divorced. I never hated anyone like him.
Ari thinks that Rob should have read his letter because it would have provided Sophie with closure, and she feels like it was the fair thing to do considering Sophie was so vulnerable and honest towards him.
I think it was sort of selfish of Rob to deny reading Sophie the letter. So I think that was just him, being spiteful.
Now, I strongly disagree. Whether or not Rob didn't read it out of spite is honestly irrelevant to me. I think Sophie made the decision that she thought was best for herself, and that is honestly the only closure that she needs. And damn, Jasmine really hates Rob.
Rob the knob. He was a bitch from beginning to end. Your wife rejected you. She put you where you belong, the trash.
And it is 100% because he called her out on her bullshit open marriage. And she's like, bro, if you took all that energy you spent sabotaging my marriage into your wife's happiness, maybe you wouldn't have gotten your ass dumped.
If you were putting all the energy taking care of your woman, maybe she had recommitted to you, baby.
Then we watch Florian give his straight from the heart vows, and James is like, would it have been nice for him to put some more effort into it? Yes. But when you start at putting in 0 effort, a microscopic amount of effort is still going in the right direction. Heidi expected them to recommit to each other, and she's happy Stacy got to get some things off her chest, but she's pretty sure that Florian was checked out during her vows.
It probably fell on deaf ears. He has the capabilities of change, but right now I think he's okay with where he's at.
Then we rewatch Jasmine feeding Gino nothing but egregious lies.
I promise you my unconditional love, tenderness, and undying devotion.
Jasmine tells us that she wanted Gino to know in that moment that no matter what happened to them, she would always love him. So if they stayed together, if they got divorced, if she got pregnant with Matt's baby, she will always, always love him. Reba jumps in and she actually redeems herself.
Polyamory is not a band-aid for your failing relationship. While I wanted more representation of what healthy polyamory looks like, this ain't it.
Then the cast all decorate a last resort wedding cake to commemorate the recommitment ceremony, and the only one worth mentioning is Josh's because it's kind of funny.
Natalie turned into an alien. She just starts taking out all the therapists, and then I surrender, and then I die.
At the end of the day, the only person who seems to regret coming to the resort is Gino.
I feel very happy because we recommitted.
I'll do whatever it takes. Watching it back, that was so dumb. Anyway.
And that, my Panda Pals, is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead, click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments what you thought about this one. I cannot wait to see you for the tell-all, and as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye!